Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, honorable judges and audiences. Before we jump into the story, I'd love to know, how's your day been so far? I hope it's been great. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sharliz Malika, and it is an honor for me to join the storytelling competition. Today, I'd like to share with you a folk tale from Britain that's filled with magic and adventure. Jack and the Beanstalk. Long ago, in a tiny British village nestled among green hills, lived a cheerful but very poor boy named Jack and his widowed mother. Their cottage was small, their garden bare, and their single cow, Daisy, had stopped giving milk. One chilly morning, Jack's mother looked sadly into the empty pantry. "Jack," she said, "we have no more money for bread. Take Daisy to the market and sell her, but be sure to get a good price." The morning sun glimmered on the dewy grass. Jack set off down the winding lane, leading gentle Daisy by a rope. That's when a curious old man stepped out from behind a hawthorn hedge. His eyes twinkled like starlight. "Good day, young traveler," the man said. "I have something far more valuable than coins. 5 magic beans. Plant them tonight, and you'll see wonders before dawn. Trade me your cow, and these are yours." Jack hesitated. Magic beans? But the man's voice was like music, and his smile promised adventure. Thinking of his tired mother and their empty cupboards, Jack finally nodded. They shook hands and traded cow for beans. When Jack returned home and told everything, his mother's face turned red as the sunset. "Beans?" she cried. "You sold our cow for beans? What nonsense, Jack!" In anger, she tossed the beans out the window and sent him to bed without supper. That night, the moon was like a silver coin in the sky. While Jack was sleeping soundly, the beans sprouted. First a shoot, then a stalk, climbing higher and higher until it pierced the clouds. At dawn, Jack rubbed his eyes and gasped. A colossal beanstalk, thick as a tree trunk, spiraled up into the mist. He placed a hand on the cool green vine, and without a second thought, he began to climb. Higher and higher he went up, birds swooped past in surprise. The wind grew chilly, the ground disappeared below, and finally, Jack pulled himself onto a soft white cloud and stared in awe at a gigantic stone castle. He knocked timidly, and a giant woman opened the door. Her voice rumbled, but her eyes were kind. "Come in, little one, but be quick. My husband will be home soon, and he has a temper like a thunderstorm." She gave Jack warm bread and a mug of frothy milk. Just then, the ground shook. Boom, boom, boom. The castle walls quivered, and the giant bellowed. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." Jack darted behind a huge copper pot. The giant sniffed the air, but after a long search, grunted and sat to eat. Soon his snores rolled like distant thunder. Then Jack peeked out and saw a hen with feathers like molten gold. It laid an egg, pure shining gold. With his heart pounding, Jack scooped up the hen and hurried down the beanstalk. When he returned home, his mother gasped, "We'll never go hungry again." But adventure is tempting. A few days later, Jack climbed the beanstalk once more. This time, The giant's wife sighed. Ugh! You again? Quick! Quick! Hide! The castle walls trembled, and again came the booming cry. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Jack crouched beneath the breadthrough. Through the slats, he saw a golden harp. Its strings shimmered, and it began to sing by itself, a melody as sweet as dawn. When the giant finally slept, Jack crept forward and lifted the harp. But the harp cried out, Master! Master! The giant's eyes snapped open. Thief! He roared. Jack ran, the giant pounding after him. Each footstep felt like a drum of doom. Boom! Boom! Jack slid down the beanstalk. Above him, the giant climbed in furious pursuit. Mother! Bring the axe! Jack shouted. His mother rushed out, eyes wide. Chop! One blow. Chop! Two. The beanstalk shuddered, tilted, and with a thunderous crash, the giant tumbled from the clouds, never to rise again. The golden hen laid eggs of endless wealth. The singing harp filled their cottage with music, and Jack and his mother lived in comfort and joy. And that, dear juries, is the tale of Jack and the Beanstalk. It reminds us that courage begins with a single daring climb, but wisdom means knowing when to stop and value what we have. So when life offers you a chance to climb higher, take it bravely, but always climb with heart, not just with hunger. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.